Hold on, God, where is it? So I want to talk about this really quick. Just really quickly. I can't find. I saved it because I posted it. I watched these things and just like, girl, what's the tea?
I knew eventually that T.S. Madison and Miss Netta was gonna bump heads. And you know what I hate about what T.S. Madison do sometimes is she'll let other people sit there and read and roast while she tries to play coy like she don't know what the fuck going on. You know, say what you feel, sweetie. Like when I seen Miss Netta on T.S. Madison's show and she proposed to ask that question, are you trans or not? I knew that eventually down the road was going to bump heads because an insecurity that I noticed that T.S. Madison has, one of her biggest insecurities is being clockable. You know, she has a lot of assets. She's very beautiful, but she doesn't like the fact that people can look at her and clearly see that she's a man. And for a long time, people could not tell if Miss Netta was a man or a woman. And yeah, Miss Netta might not be as beautiful as T.S. Madison, by American beauty standards. But it's like she still was not clockable, and that's something that T.S. Madison really wants to achieve. I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's just what it seems like to me.
Okay, so I mean, that's her, his, they, them. I don't know their pronouns because I don't really know that person. So that's their synopsis of the way that they feel about the whole take of like when Craig sits down and he has conversations about Miss Netta, and I just be like, if y'all have watched me on countless times, y'all have watched me tell Craig, like, please Craig, like, I don't want to talk about Miss Netta. Or you've seen me on numerous occasions try to really in a space talk about having, correct pronouns and stuff like that. Like you see me say this countless times. And even when I did this right here, but before I go to that, there's another thing that I wanna talk about while I have you guys. Let me turn the fan down low. Oh, there's another thing that I want to talk about. And it's like, so I want to be real so bad, like. I want to be there. Okay. So my insecurity is that people, like when people look directly at me, they was like, oh, that's a man. You're a man. Okay. Got it. And my whole goal in life is to be unclockable. Okay. Got it. So my name being Transsexual Madison, T.S. Madison, Transsexual Madison. Me saying bottom, me saying I'm a transgender woman, I'm not a female, me saying I'm a transgender woman, not a woman, I'm a transgender woman, me saying, okay, so I'm trying to figure out about this clocking stuff. I mean, these are people's interpretations, so okay, well, whatever, all right, you got it. And when have me and Netta bumped heads? When have me and Netta bumped heads? Oh, okay, all right. I just listened to y'all. Now there was another gentleman that came on his TikTok, and he stated this.
We're going to talk about it like this because this topic has been bugging me, and I had to just sit back and just break it down. What is up with the Miss Netta hate train? And I thought about it. If we figure out who the passengers on the Miss Netta hate train is, then we can figure out what is fueling the Miss Netta hate train. The passengers on the Miss Netta hate train is hateful as black women, mean as gays, and believe it or not, other trans women. Now, what do all of these people, these three categories of people, what do they notoriously have in common? Transphobia. That is what they have in common. So all three categories of those people, of those passengers on the Miss Netta hate train, all are fueling the hate train with transphobia.
Oh.
And also, gotta throw this in there, there's desirability. And desirability, that can break off into a whole bunch of other subcategories. Texturism, featureism, colorism.
I welcome you guys back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. So in the recent updates, we saw Mrs. Netta actually being attacked by T.S. Madison. Actually, I think T.S. Madison is really angry, and there is a bit of jealous with regards to the Instagram video she actually did yesterday. Throwing jabs, attacking Mrs. Netta, and of course, the husband Charles. And it's a bit confusing because when you actually happen to dig deep into this whole beef, we all know Miss Netta without doubt his gender. He's been vocal, and he's been very, very clear with regards to his gender. He belongs to the LGBTQ, and of course also some people say Mrs. Madison, despite being rich, is still, she still feels that Mrs. Netta is only using the LGBTQ group, for her own for her own or his own gains, to become popular. Of course, Mrs. Netta has always come out and reiterated that everyone knows, everyone from her area, from her city knows she's a LGBTQ. He belongs to that group, and there were no other hidden intentions. Obviously, T.S. Madison, when she did that Instagram live, she was throwing jabs. I don't know why. So many other people actually have also come out to attack Mrs. Netta on various social media platforms, despite having a blossoming relationship with Charles, the partner. But it doesn't make sense for people to attack this person, because ideally this is a person who has not attacked anyone. He's only doing his thing. He has been blessed by the popularity of his social media. On his social media, on his brand is really growing. So I think it has attracted jealous people from different sorts of life, and of course that's why T.S. Madison is actually coming out to throw jabs on Mrs. Netta. Obviously, he has not come out to react about this whole video which T.S. Madison did yesterday in an Instagram live, but I'm very, very sure that Mrs. Netta will come out and react to these allegations and jabs.